The next step that we're going to do is now animate our player. So I'm going to click on my player sprite and go into the costumes. Again, just like I said before, for those of you who did not use the base, you can still see exactly what we're doing for our animation and apply it to your player, just so that you kind of understand the process a little bit more. So for everyone else, we're just going to go ahead and continue. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start off the same way we did with our enemy. The only difference is the very last thing that we add here will be our costume 4. So it doesn't matter how much costumes we add, we just have to make sure this is the last one that we finish with. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. And now it's up to me to figure out how I want the animation to be. So the first thing I want to think of is, what do I want to move? So maybe I want the head to move a little bit back and forth, back and forth. Maybe I want some of the wings to kind of shuffle along as my player is moving. So first things first, is always nice to kind of think about how you want your item or what you have in front of you, how you want it to move. Once you have an idea of how you want it to move, now you want to kind of think of how you need to do it. And then once you have that idea, then you can just go ahead and start working on it. So since I know I want to move the head, and I know that my headpiece has different pieces, I'm going to go ahead and make a selection. So with my mouse, my selection tool on, I'm just going to go ahead and make a selection. So I'm just going to make sure I'm only selecting stuff that I need. So I'm not going to select the body. I'm only going to select the head, the eyes, and the beak. And I'm going to group it. Next, the individual feathers, if I wanted to, I can also do the same thing too. But that depends, again, if you want to move it separately, then you don't want to group it. If you just want to move them all together, then you want to go ahead and group it. So in order to select it, if you can't make a box over it, you can hold on Shift, and then you can start left clicking to select everything that you want, and then you can group it as well. Sometimes grouping it will move it from its layer, so you just have to move it back. So now I grouped everything that I need. I have an idea of what I want and how I want it to move. So now I'm just going to head and start creating the animation. So since I'm still on my costume 2 and I haven't done anything to it, the first thing I'm going to do is move the head a little bit back. I'm going to move the feathers a little bit forward. And then my wings, I might even start turning them on both sides. Now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. I'm going to move it just a little bit more back. The feathers a little bit more forward. And open my wings a little bit more out. And now I'm going to duplicate this again. And I'll do the opposite. So I'm going to move the head forward. Move the feathers forward. And start closing my wings again. And I'll do that one more time. So again, you can make as much as you want. That doesn't matter. Okay. And once you're happy with it, the next thing is going to be to code it. So take your time. If you notice, I did it kind of quickly, doing quick, easy movements, but the more you add, the more easy the transition is, the better the animation would look. So once you're done, again, you can go ahead and then code it and then test it out, see if you like it or not, and then go back and you can always add more.